Hello and welcome. I'm Maria Ressa. This is #WeDecide, the first 100 days of Isko Moreno Tumagoso. Hello, Isko. Nice to see you here.
Thank you. I'm honored and grateful to Rappler and to you to be here with you.
No, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
You know, we've watched you. You know what we've gone through. How would you convince me to vote for you?
Well, if you're tired of animosities among warring parties, and it seems that's the selling point of both biggest camp in the race. Accusation from one and to each other. And if you want to get things done, I can do that.
And your track record, right? I mean, people look at what you've done in Manila.
Sawa naman ng Diyos, modesty aside. It's a very challenging city, especially when the time I assume office, financially, physically. Tapos the impression ng negosyante sa Maynila is wala kaming certainty. We're not predictable on rules and regulations. We change things. But through some actions and ideas that we introduce, unti-unti kaming wala pa kami sa rurok ng tagumpay. But we managed to grow economically and the business are surviving. I cannot assume of flourish in business because of the pandemic na. But I think at 7% loss in the business registration and 12% new business, that's a positive vibe. I think we survive.
And the biggest lesson that you will take to the presidency, ano yung natutunan mo?
Oh, certainty in rules, predictability, level playing field, that Corporation A will have such privilege, the same thing with Corporation B and C. Hindi na siya yung parang may konti kang killing na pinapaboran na kumpanya or tribo or geografiya. Yung pagka ganun kasi, gumaganda yung competition ng negosyo. And why am I after to that? Simply because growing up in a very challenging community, one of the key reasons for us, yung matulak ka sa pader. Pag natutulak ang tao kasi sa pader dahil wala nang opportunity, the tendency is mamayarwisyo ng kapwa. And making jobs available, mas mahina ang oportunidad na tumaas ang krimen. That's how I address criminalities in Manila. And I think records will show for the past years na ang projection ng criminality, despite of hunger, lack of opportunity, mahirap yung opportunity during the pandemic, we sustained a good level of crimes incident in the city of Manila. July 2019, 3 months akong umikot. And alam mo yung marketing rally, you try to sell the city's policy, programs, and direction. Sabi ko, I'm sorry, humingi talaga ako ng tawad sa mga PCCI, FFCCI, Chamber of Commerce. I went to Makati and I come back to Manila. And we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. And awa ng Diyos, nagbalikan ulit sila unti-unti, hindi na kami warehouse. Dati naging tambakan na lang kami, naging bodega na lang kami. 18 years of poverty. Napagsama ko yung experience ko personal at yung experience ko sa paralan. So when we did it, unti-unti nagkaroon ng sense of belonging ng mga tao na, uy, may bahay na kami, uy, may eskwelahan na kami, uy, maganda yung eskwelahan namin.
So let me ask you, you win, you're president.
Magdilang angel ka, Maria.
So it's your first 100 days.
Oh, one, definitely bureaucracy. Definitely. one of the key, if I may share it to you.
Please.
Noong pumasok akong mag-alkalde, I saw it for 20 years inside that building. From councilor to vice mayor.
Yes.
So I saw who is asset and who is not. Efficiency.
You make it more efficient.
More efficient, yes.
Pero paano mo gagawin yun when everyone has a vested interest to...
The same thing in CTO. Everyone has vested interest and it's institutionalized. Ay simple lang naman ang ginawa ko. I got the best people kahit hindi ako binoto. When I say that, even department heads of former mayors of Manila, whom I think and I saw because of a 2-decade being in that building, kinuha ko yung magagaling. And the same thing that we're gonna do, we address bureaucracies, expedite everything, we need fast action, a particular task, then we put people based on merit. Not because katribo ko sila, o taga rito sila sa ganitong lugar, or kaklase ko sila. No. It's getting the right people in a particular task. That's what I'm gonna do in the next 100 days. Definitely. Because anumang Lamborghini man ang sasakyan mo, kung yung makina mo hindi maintenado, hindi rin yan tatakbo ng eficiente. Yung gusto mong mangyaring bilis. The most challenging area in Manila, and this is on record, I think your reporter was there also, is a 15,000 obstruction in a 1.8 kilometer for 30 years existing. Everybody gave up with recto from Asuncion to Abansan. So, sabi na, sir, napakahirap, sir. Ang dami nating babanggain. I think that's what your question is all about. Ang dami nating babanggain. You know, the people gave us 51%. And never in the wildest history ng Manila, for 3 serious corner fight, magbigay ng ganong mandato. Ibig sabihin, they really wanted to see things put in right perspective. Pag hindi tayo naging successful dyan, hindi na tayo magiging successful sa lahat ng kalye ng Manila.
You took the toughest challenge.
Yes, and that's the first task.
Okay.
And modesty aside, 30-year problem, gone in 48 hours.
So let me ask you, right? You've also dealt with crisis. So let's do a scenario here where you've just taken your oath of office. You talked about how divided we are right now, right? So you took your oath of office, but now you've been told that the supporters of the front runner refuse to accept you as president, and you're in Malacanang. What actions are you going to take?
Well, I'll respect their views.
They're coming for you.
Like
we've done this before, like what happened with...
Militarily or armed?
Think EDSA 3, what Gloria Arroyo had to go through.
Well, I'll protect the Constitution.
So in that moment, Isko, what would you do?
I'll protect the country.
What orders will you give?
Well, of course, we'll try to listen and argue with them. Mahaba ang pasensya ko, Maria, sa totoo lamang. But if they will not, I have to do what I have to do. Really, just to protect the interests of every Filipinos in this country. Because that's what you call democracy. In democracy, 50% plus 1 lang.
So, the last time we had a mayor who became president, the local experience didn't translate to the national stage as much, right? What, in managing crisis, you know, what is the biggest priority for you? Like, where have you succeeded in managing crisis? Where have you failed?
Data. It's always about data. In a crisis, like there are playbooks in crisis. Bago mag-transfer yung virus, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks. In our case, in a matter of hours, which did happen. So, ang ginawa natin, simple pa rin. In-adapt natin yung some rules on how to manage crisis. So, that's why ako, ang approach talaga is be there, wag kang absent, no? You focus, you sit with sensible people, and I talk to doctors because this is a health issue.
Yeah.
So immediately, every single day, 6 na direktor ng ospital, direktor ng MHD, tapos everyday, tapos kuha ng data, kumukuha ko sa NHI, sa yung ginagawa ni doktor nung Amerika, si Fauci. Tapos tinitingnan ko yung memoranda ng World Health Organization kasi whatever is happening in other part of the world, it may happen to us. Kaya we try to be ahead of the numbers in terms of capacity against infection. So worse did not come. Thank you very much.
How would you have done that at a national level?
Simple lang. I'll build more hospital that dedicated to COVID patients. The same thing we did with the Manila COVID-19 Field Hospital. So that we can continue to live normally. Not normal like the way it was before, but towards to that direction. Because quarantine, whether naubusan na nga tayo ng salita, di ba? ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, banana Q, barbecue, lahat na lang ng Q. So there's a balance between life and livelihood. So if I'll buy more of medicines that are available in the world to survive every possible patient, because there's a possibility that people will get infected. I'll buy more oxygen equipments. Sort of saying, reinforcing your health sector, invest on it, at saka hindi ito yung mga, kailangan talaga surgical. No? Ayoko naman husgahan yung ginawa ng ilang tao, but I'll buy on something that can save you. That is most important to me. Then, okay, we don't close shops. We must learn to live with it and go back to work safely.
How do you keep politics out of the task you want done? Because right now we have SARS upon SARS upon, how do you keep ego and politics out so that you can actually address a problem?
Again, I'll go back to the first answer on how we manage the city of Manila. We put right people in their field of undertaking, best in their field of undertaking.
So some of the candidates say that they're after unity, right? How do you do that when we're at this place where hate is actually a weapon of campaigns? It's used as a weapon of choice.
So my point is, yung away naman nila, hindi ako kasali. So ang gusto ko, kala ko ba gusto mo maglingkod sa taong bayan? Kaya mo sinuportahan yung kandidato ni Pula. Kaya mo sinuportahan yung kandidato ni Yellow Pig. No, let's come. Help me. I cannot do this alone.
Who are the people you would want?
Oh, people who believes in two heads are better than one. Ayoko ng BBS. Yung believe na believe sa sarili. I really don't like those type of people. Kasi, maaring maganda yung intention mo, Maria. No? Technically, okay yan. But if you cannot, work within the system, hindi mo rin magagawa. Pero may mga tao naman, wala namang pinag-aralan or walang PhD, but who understand the people. So when you do that, when you work within the system, not outside the system, I think it would be better for everyone. Yun ang paniwala ko doon.
Pero Isko, if we look at our system today, it's so broken. You look at the impact of the pandemic. The rich got richer. We followed the rest of the world, by the way. We're not unique. The rich got richer, but the poor, we didn't pass Bayanihan 3, and that is the legislature you're working with. How will you change this? If you, again, as president, you will have a 12 trillion peso debt.
Katulad ng sinabi ko sa iyo kanina, hindi ako magko-quarantine. I will reinforce everything with regard to how will I make you feel that you're working on a safe environment. I will achieve that. I'll go to that. I'll invest to that. Whether it is contact tracing, testing, I'll make it available to you. Then if you're sick, then there is a hospital bed waiting for you with a doctor and hopefully specialists like pulmonologists, infectious disease doctor. Tapos, 24 oras, binabantayan ka, sinusustinahan ka, at yung anak mo, asawa mo, pamilya mo, tuloy pa rin ang buhay nila. I was sent there by the British government and spoke with COBRA, or the Corona British Response. At kinuha ko talaga yung plano. nagpaalam ako. Their plan is Code M. Contain, delay, and mitigate. What's mitigate? Yung pala yung mitigate the socio-economic impact of the pandemic. That's why, nakita mo yung FSP na ginawa ng Manila, the Food Security Program. Yun yung cushioning.
So Putin invaded Ukraine. The world is upside down. There's talk of World War III. The gasoline has gone up. How will you deal with this?
First things first. How can we survive? So everything now is possible. And any leaders, for that matter, should go after on food security. Lagi kong ginigiit yung mabigyan ng pagkakataon na kumita naman yung farmers. We prioritize our food production. We invest on our food security. Simply because pag dumating na yung panahon na yun at wala na tayong makain, baliwala ang pera. We cannot feed ourselves. And we continue to let the farming, the agriculture deteriorate the way last year the price of fertilizer is 900 or 1,000 pesos. Now it's 2,500, 2,600, 2,200. Then the price of palay and, you can check this. Yung sibuyas ng Nueva Ecija, hindi pa naani, halos hindi na nila maibenta. We've lost bawang in Northern Luzon. We've lost it. Napabayaan ng mga taong gobyerno sa Ilocos region yung bawang. What we're using right now is Taiwan garlic. Why? So, I think it's an awakening to us, o future leaders, na, teka muna, ano ba i-prioritize natin? Ang priority natin, makisali tayo sa gera na may gera? O importanteng mabuhay tayo, resilient, sufficient, to live within these animosities or happening in the world.
Some of the reasons na napabayaan to, right, is because of preferential treatment for business, corruption.
Gusto ko yung word na yung preparation.
It's a nicer way of saying.
It's a very nice word.
But, how do you prevent that? Kasi if you are president, people will come to you. You give me this, I give you this. Ano yung paninindigan mo?
Hindi naman kaila na ako'y tumatanaw lagi ng utang na loob. It's an open secret that I value those people who helped me on the way up because I believe in some rules in life. Lalo na ako, Maria, I came from nothing, literally. Hindi ako pinagpala na magkaroon ng magulang na may ginto kutsara sa life. But there is what you call demarcation line.
Ano yun?
So, yung patas lang kayo. Walang mga gargabyado sa iyong gobyerno o parang nakita natulungan. Bahala ka magnegosyo. But what I'm after is those people who use power and be in the kitchen, and abuse such relationship to enrich themselves against the interests of the general population. That I can take.
Who are you talking about?
Whoever they are. Whoever they are in the future. But in my case, I have friends in Manila.
Yeah.
Tingnan mo, naalala mo yung kwento ko kanina, nagpunta ako sa mga FFCCI.
Yeah.
And I told them, FAR, for example, isa sa problema ng developer yan, law restoration will liberalize the interpretation of the law. If there is an exemption, you follow the exemption, you'll be granted the opportunity in the city of. And I did not say that to X corporation. It is also made available to C corporation. That's why makikita mo ang Maynila ngayon, katakot-takot na crane. I mean, like development. We provided jobs during the pandemic, not only because ini-stimulate ng gobyerno yung job availability, but the private sector na nakapaghanap buhay muli. So, meron talagang meron pa rin naman ako. Takot pa rin naman ako sa Diyos. Huwag kang mag-alala, Maria. Hindi pa rin ako, hindi ako perfecto, but I know where to put period in a sentence.
Mahal kong Pilipinas, ito na ang oras. Isigaw mo, Isko! Isigaw mo, Isko! Isigaw mo ang pangarap, Mamaya sa teleserye, isigaw mo na si Yorme, ang dapat magpresidente.